Hello, everybody. I'm going to play a little bit of I Love a Rainy Night.
Well, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love a rainy night. It's such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face and taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadows, showers wash all my cares away. Wake up to a sunny day, 'cause I love a rainy night. And I love a rainy night. And I love a rainy night. And I love a rainy night. Ooh, ooh. I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love the rainy night. It's such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face and taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadow.
Hi, everybody. How are you tonight? Hi, Sandy. How are you? All right. I hope you're all doing well. I don't know where Jim is right now. He might be busy. I know he hasn't been feeling well, but he might be working. Who knows? So I did give him the link. So if he joins us, he joins us. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. All right. So this chapter is going to finish the unit on Civil Nora. Hi, Francis. How are you doing tonight? Pretty good, I hope. All right. Hi, Purple Green. How are you? Hi, Judy. How are you? All right. So we're going to finish our unit on Civil Nora this evening. We're going to finish the chapter, but I have a bunch of other little video clips I'm going to show you and some musical clips to show you as well. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This is about Civil Nora himself and the album that he had submitted, and the topic of Steve can't speak today. Steve Sanchez and his book, where Elvis, Where Are You? So we're going to cover that a little bit and a little bit more about a couple other things that make this man so mysterious. Okay. All right. So Francis says, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you? I am doing very well. Thank you very much. I'm going to put this down so I can see my topics. There it is. Ah, there you go. I can see my screens. All right. I don't think he has a flu. I know he was complaining of his heart bothering him and stuff the other day. Yesterday we did a live on Facebook and he was iffy, so I don't know. He could be working as well. He's an hour behind me in time, so he could be in the middle of working. I did send him the link. If he joins me, that's great. If he doesn't join me, that's great too. He could have got the wrong time as well, so But as far as I know, he's having heart trouble. All right. Hi, Julianne. How are you tonight? Hi. Okay, so we have all these hearts and hi back. All right, great. Purple Green, how are you tonight? Good? All right. So this week has been kind of like rainy. Actually, today was the first day we saw the sun in a long time. It didn't come out till like 2:00, so I'm pretty happy with that. We have a sunny Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. We're celebrating that in the U.S. tomorrow. Those of you, I don't know what the other countries are like, but anyway. So what I'm going to do first is we had talked about, I think we finished with an interview that I guess Civil Nora had done over the phone. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do is before we dive into the Geraldo Rivera, which we covered last week, I'm going to talk about Steve Chances, not Sanchez, Chances. And I'm going to show a video a mushed up video together. You can get these videos on a different channel on YouTube, but I kind of uploaded them and put. Oh, good. I'm glad, Purple Green, it's Mother's Day. Well, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Hi, Julianne. All right. So I'm going to play this video clip first. This is, if you listen very carefully. Now, Civil Nora is in the blacked out in the camera, so you don't see his image. All you see is just the black back, his back and hair, and it looks like there's a little gray. It was in 1981 this taping was done, so it's going to be a little let's say fuzzy or analog or whatever, but I thought this would be cool to listen to. It's about 6 minutes long, so we'll just listen to this and then we'll dive into the book. Hi Diana, how are you tonight?
Oh, yeah. You know, you're talking about oldies. I remember from the Hello from Hawaii special, one of my very, very favorite songs was Steamroller Blues. Yeah, you do that for me? For us?
Now the guy talking in the glasses, that is Steve Chances. He's the one that had written the book that we're going to talk about. All right. But the figure, obviously, listen to the voice very carefully. The singing voice is very raw because obviously it's a man, no dubbing, just a guitar, a personal and individual, let's say, concert, if you want to say that. But the talking voice is very, very telling. All right. Is the shape, we'll go over that. I think it is pretty close. I mean, it might be that he's got a big bulky jacket. Now, this is how I explain it. Is obviously it's got camera, it's blacked out. It's 1981, so you can just imagine what they used back then. It's not as good as it is today as far as cameras are concerned. This was done at somebody's home, obviously. So, but listen to what he says and let me know if you think this is Elvis speaking. In between.
I'm gonna steam over, baby. I'm about to roll on over you. I'm gonna steam over, baby. I'm about to roll on over you. I'm gonna inject your loving soul with some sweet rock and roll and shoot you for the rhythm and blues. I'm gonna see me mixer, tuning her and I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna see me mixer, tuning her and I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna demolition derby, baby. I'll hit the home, your steady job.
That's definitely Elvis. I agree. And look at the glee on Sanchez's Chance's face. No impersonator.
No, seriously. I don't care what anybody says. I think you've got a future in this business. Can I ask you, what is your favorite song?
You just heard it, man. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got about another 125 zords to ask of you, but I know we got time is of the essence right now. And my favorite song, and I know favorite song of a lot of people listening right now, is How Great Thou Art. And I'll tell you what, if you do it, I'll help you.
If I do it, you're going to have to help me.
He says, if I gotta do it, you have to help me. I love that. And when he says, man, and the laugh is kind of telling, or the giggle is kind of telling. He doesn't have a full-fledged laugh, but anyway, if I play this, How Great Thou Art, it is like really bad because he has him singing it, and yeah, I think I have part 2 here somewhere, so I think I pulled up part 2. No, I didn't. Okay, so it'll stop and then we'll just read.
Okay, when I said take it, that's when you take it, okay?
Where did I go?
Where could I go but to the Lord? Yes. Just singing tonight. Oh, Lord, my God, when I know some wonder, how the big world thy hands have made. I see the stars, and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe.
Okay, so to me, that definitely sounds like Elvis. There is part 2 of this video, but I will show it later because I really want to get into the reading. Okay, so I'm going to get on here. I'm just checking to see. Don't know Jim. So he must be down and out today. So let's keep him in our prayers. All right, so what the question remains, who is Civil Nora? Since the psychic entertainer displayed on Geraldo and to the segment producer of Miami's WSBN TV program Inside Story, I'm going to bring this down here. That's what I was reading. There we go. All right. A copy of a contract whereby Sanchez and Crown hired him to be the voice on the mystery tape, and since the tape is listed as Sivle's monologue in their newsletter, Eternally Elvis, the logic follows that this is Civil Nora, right? And if so, then he may be the same Sivle on the album Sivle Sings Again, except that the segment producer for Inside Story, Justine Schmidt, told me that when she interviewed the psychic entertainer in April of 1989, he swore that he was not Civil Nora. First you see me, then you don't. The psychic entertainer has said he signed the contract with Sanchez and Crown, or Chances, excuse me, and Crown in April of 1981. But he did not make it clear to me on the show whether he was talking about the Sivle monologue, the mystery tape, or the Sivle album, because we are talking about 2 different tapes. The tape I had, voice authenticated, is not the same tape with the songs and with Sivle pausing to say, wait a minute, man. Right? I did not discover the existence of the album's cassettes of the Sivle songs until Maria Columbus provided me copies. Upon talking to voice experts, I discovered we could not get accurate voice authentication on the singing, but the part where Sivle stops to say, wait a minute, has been sent to a voice expert, and although there are only a few words and thus not enough to give a full report, evidence suggests that the voice on the mystery tape and the voice of Sivle saying, wait a minute, are not the same, according to her. Confusing? Keep reading. So since the mystery tape and Elvis's voice via spectrographs read the same via voice authentication, and since the psychic entertainer claims to be the same voice, he is either 1, good enough to foot legal spectrographs, or 2, another tape was made, or this is simply another smokescreen, or 2 voices are involved, one being the psychic entertainer and the other ... Remember, the psychic entertainer swore to Inside Story he was not Civil Nora, yet that was how the tapes were released. Again, who is Sivle? The Is Elvis Alive reader may recall that we discovered there were 2 Orions, more of which we will discuss here in later file. Assuming that the psychic entertainer was telling the truth and that he did not use trickery to stop Geraldo's watch, regardless of what we viewed, and that the psychic did indeed go into trance and bring Elvis's voice from the great beyond, why are certain remarks made by the voice, such as, it was a good place to hide, Hawaii, slowly getting myself into shape. These are all from the Elvis tape. Traveling all around the world, getting very nervous by being recognized by a waitress in Germany, going to football games and to movies, talking to people that have been sick, concerned about people finding out, working out and playing racquetball and karate, not having taken a sleeping pill in 3 years, trying to write music. I'm seen by people all the time. Looking forward to possibly seeing some people that are going to be shocked. Realizing that sooner or later it's going to end. The hiding. That's what she meant. Working on an album. Now, I thought I had put that clip on here, but I guess I lost it. But he said he was going to work on an album and he was trying to get people together to get this album put together, and it was going to be different this time. But he also said that he worked with people that could help him work from behind the scenes. All right. So, yeah. So these are small sampling of statements made on the mystery tape. Granted, I do not know much about the spiritual world, but if the psychic entertainer was calling Elvis from the beyond and allowing his body to be a vehicle for that spirit, why would the spirit be hiding out in Hawaii and growing beards to keep from getting recognized? Why would the spirit be talking about any of the above? Do spirits need to grow beards to keep from getting recognized? The psychic entertainer said a disclaimer was on the original Sivle monologue, and I suppose on the Sivle album as well, imitating that perhaps the present author or publishers deliberately removed such disclaimers in order to perpetuate a fraud. Wrong again. The truth is, I have examined all early copies released by Sanchez and Crown and has Maria Columbus, and there is absolutely no disclaimer whatsoever. In fact, they deliberately do everything possible to make people believe it's Elvis on the Sivle monologue and on the album Sivle Sings Again. Now, I have a copy of Sivle Sings Again right here. And there is no disclaimer on the cover. And I don't see a disclaimer on the record or copyright even. Okay. But there is something neat on this record, which I'll show you later because I have an up-close picture, but I'll show that to you later. Did Sanchez and Crown advertise the sale of the book, newsletter, and album publicly in both 1981 and later in 1982? How can this psychic entertainer state he never knew this tape was made public until my book dated in 1988? After all, he admitted he was contractually connected with Sanchez and Crown, even showing such contract to Geraldo Rivera and Justine Schmidt of the Inside Edition. Anyone who purchased the mass market edition of Is Elvis Alive knows we are not making money from the tape because the entire package is only $5.95. The tape part of the copyrighted interview with me. So basically, she copyrighted the tape, but it was just the interviewed part with her, not the Elvis voice. But anyway, combine the cost of producing the interview tape as evidence of what I was talking about together with the cost of shrink wrapping and production costs of the book itself. One doesn't have to be mathematical genius to see I was not making money from the sale of the tape. As you'll note by samples of ads concerning the book Elvis, Where Are You? And the Sivle album, it is those connected to the production of said book and the album who were making the sales. So basically, Chances, Crown, Darlock, we don't know. But anyway, according to Bill Burke's Elvis World newsletter interview, this spiritual entertainer did not do the Sivle album under the name Civil Nora. Yet again, he swore he was not Civil Nora to Justine Schmidt of Inside Edition. So it's contradicting. One interview he's saying, yes, I am. The next interview, he's saying, no, I'm not. But which one is it, she's asking? If fraud is being committed, it was not done by this writer. In other words, by her. All I have done is present the evidence, not create it. In all fairness, it really wasn't Geraldo's fault that Capone's vault was empty. And if Elvis's tomb is empty, it is not my fault either. I would like to ask this psychic entertainer, if you are Sivle, then was it you who was interviewed by Bill Payne of station XTFX in May of 1981? If so, what were you trying to pull? Surely you can't chalk this off as PR for a fan club, as you stated on Geraldo. It is my suggestion that the reader goes back and reread my extracts of this May 1981, extracts, right, of May 1981 interview with Bill Payne and Sivle, and decide for himself. If David Darlock, the psychic entertainer, is Sivle, then was he not deliberately and with intent of fraud trying to deceive the listening public via radio that he was Elvis Presley and that Elvis Presley was alive? So if you are the voice on the tape, if you are the singing and talking voice of Sivle Sings Again, will you come forward and be voice authenticated by the police? So since we have two opposite stories from the same psychic entertainer's mouth, how about another teaspoon of confusion to muddy the waters? Recall the following segment of the mystery tape included in Is Elvis Alive? I've spent most of my time getting back into shape. It's not easy to get things and to get everything done at the same time. There's been lots of things that have happened. I've got to be very careful. I mean, I met a young lady in a supermarket once and she kept following me. Finally, she said, I almost can't believe, but I think I know who you are. And he said, honey, if you don't tell anybody, I said I won't. And right then and there in the supermarket, she started crying. And I said, honey, don't cry. And the tears just falling down her face. And she put her arms around me and said, I feel I know what you have been through. She said, I'll always love you. And you know things like that are experiences that you can't buy. And those are quotes from the Elvis tape. So it's very hard. It is very hard to forget anything like that. But things like that have been happening to me a lot. Now, she said, consider this letter she received in August of 1988. Now, this sounds a lot like Pepper Ritter, but I'm not sure if it's her or the girl in Ohio that he met in a Safeway store as well earlier on before. Now, Pepper Ritter's experience was in March. This letter was received August 1988. Dear Gail, I thought my meeting with him would go with me a secret to my grave. I never told anyone. I didn't want to be thought of as crazy. I have never followed Elvis's news from the day one, so I was unaware of all the hubbub, and until a friend, not knowing I'd ever see him since August 16th, 1977, played the tape for me. I did not know of you, blank, or your books. It touched me to know he treasured our moment that day, as it has meant so much to me. Okay, so she's August 16th, 1988. I guess she heard this tape. I'm not sure. I can't get my message to him personally, but if you ever write a sequel, maybe you would put my letter to him in it so he knows I remember too with fondness. Thank you. The young lady at the supermarket. He lives. Okay, so I'm going to say this is not Pepper, which is kind of weird because she said that down here, which was weird, was he told me not to cry, but I couldn't help myself. The last that I left that day and went on with my life, I kept our meeting secret. I saw you again sometime later at the mall. So that was kind of weird because Pepper Ritter saw him quite a few years later at the mall. So I don't know if it's the same woman or not. Maybe they were similar experiences. I don't know. But anyway, how I feel, I know you must have felt when I wanted to reveal you. I just want to say I'm sorry. If you see me again, just smile and wink. I'll do the same and we can both go our way, having touch each other's lives again without a word, but we'll know, and that's what truly matters. So I guess these are letters to Elvis, to Gail or whatever. Anyway, so if Elvis is alive, I hope he will have the opportunity to read the above or the entire letter that was written to him. And although I have no way of ascertaining whether people truly saw or experienced what they have related, I have found that most people are sincere and trustworthy. A full scope of the above many-page letter to Elvis is very sincere. It even discusses religion with him. My point in presenting some of it is that how could it have been the psychic entertainer from Geraldo whom the young lady in the supermarket saw? So that's a good question. And Pepper Ritter also ran into Elvis in the Anchorage, Alaska, which we will read Don't Cry Darling someday on YouTube because I have permission to read it. Or it's very similar experience. Okay. Than this girl here. There was 2 incidents, one in Ohio, which is the one he's talking about up here, and one in Anchorage in 1988. Okay. And the beginning of 1988. All right. So David Darlock does not resemble Elvis in any way. Yet the voice in the tape relates the same story, that Elvis met a young lady in the supermarket. One of them is not telling the truth. Excuse me. Hey, Jim, how are you tonight?
I'm all right.
I was waiting for you. Sorry.
I took a damn nap and went off to sleep.
Whoops. Well, hello, Jim. How are you tonight? Okay. I'll just continue with this, and then when I'm done, I'll tell you what I have done already, because you missed half of the first half. So one of them is not telling the truth. Is it the psychic entertainer who said he could mentally stop Geraldo's watch, yet reached into his pocket for a magnet? Or is it a young lady in a supermarket? Or the voice authentication experts who reported, on the tape, or me for reporting it at all? There is much mystery surrounding Sanchez and Crown. So many addresses not active. There are Eternally Elvis in Wilton Manors, Florida. Another address in Fort Lauderdale. Direct Products, which produced the book Elvis, Where Are You? In 1981, apparently was involuntarily dissolved in December of 1980, according to Susan Payne, Florida Secretary of State in Tallahassee. Direct Products was a company located in Coral Springs, Florida. Maria Columbus of the Elvis special had been trying to locate Steve Chances in order that he make good on a bad check he issued. She had been informed that his account had been closed with no further forwarding address. From the desk of Miss Payne, she received the following information. Our records do not reflect that Steve Chances is now or ever was an officer, director, or incorporator of Eternally Elvis Incorporated. We have no address for this individual. Attached is a printout of Direct Products Incorporated, which reflects that this corporation was involuntarily dissolved on 12/8/1980. Steve Chances was listed as a registered agent. All corporations, companies, etc., corporate files, charters with our office. We have no authority to require someone not to use the suffix incorporated if they are not registered with our office. Meanwhile, in Eternally Elvis attempt to keep Civil Nora in the public eye as Elvis, Miss Columbus received a communication on April 10th, 1981 from Chances. At the foot of the letter was an imprint. May the King live forever, in capital letters. Enclosed is a tape of the experts from Sivle's first album, entitled Do You Know Who I Am? Please excuse the poor quality, as we were not able to make the transfer from the original with professional equipment due to the expedience of this matter. I will be home all day and night this Saturday, waiting with anxiety your call. I spoke to Sivle earlier today, and I, of course, relayed to him the gist of the conversation that I had with Jeannie last night, and he told me to send his personal regards to both you and Jeannie, with warmest regards. Now that is from Steve Chances to Maria Columbus, Miss Columbus. So she sent basically the recordings of this album, right? He sent her this. I'm not sure if it was a tape or the record. This is a record. I had bought this on Discogs. I don't know if any more are for sale. It's very hard to get. Kind of a collector's item. But anyway. So I put them on a stick and uploaded it and made music videos out of it so everybody could see and hear the recordings since the record is so rare. Okay. So note that Eternally Elvis Incorporated was influencing the public to believe that Sivle and Elvis might be one and the same from various stories told by the psychic entertainer. He wasn't hired until after the date of the above letter. So 7 years later, in 1988, I received the following letters from a so-called Future Productions in Florida. At that time I received them, I had no idea that the writer of the letters could possibly be Steve Chances. I'm not sure they came from him, but this is how it began. Dear Gail, the first letter began. I have in my possession the most amazing tapes the world has ever heard. Having this information is not only a privilege, but also a great responsibility. I have been given instructions to market the tapes any way possible and to use a portion of the proceeds to help a designated group of people. Please understand that this matter must be kept under the utmost security. Therefore, I am unable to respond by phone. Please contact me through Future Prod. The marketing of the tapes will be a monetary and personal benefit to all involved. Had not Future Productions run a public advertisement about the tape and given me a name, I would have honored the utmost security request. Okay. The second letter was a reply to my asking for further information. A little while ago, I received a request from you for a story regarding a tape that you have in your possession. After seeing and hearing your sincerity on the Larry King Show, I am convinced you should know of a tape that has never been heard by anyone at any time. It is not only the time proof you are looking for, but a world shocker as well. If you have any suggestions on how to present this material to the public, please contact me through Future Productions. And this was out of Plantation, Florida. Shortly after I received a copy of the aforementioned ad again listing Future Productions, the ad sounded like the same old Sivle tapes. With a picture of a youthful, smiling Elvis in bold print, the advertisement asked, Elvis alive? And then there came, finally knowing the truth. Here, newsmen all over the country proclaim, Elvis is alive. Listen in wonder to music never before released. Be amazed at the interview that amazed the experts. Destined to be a classic. 100% satisfaction was guaranteed if the purchaser sent $8.95 to Future Productions at Plantation, Florida address. The mystery widened when I received the following unsigned letter in August of 1988. By the envelope and by the tape on the letter itself, I have ascertained that it came from the same hand which wrote the two letters from Future Productions, and thus I have suspicions that the tape referred to was Civil Nora, not the tape included Is Elvis Alive, since the Future Productions advertisement says music. The contents of the August 1988 letter infer to the writer knows that the writer knows Elvis Presley and that something went wrong. Note that it mentions the year 1981 as first acknowledgement, which is the year both Monologue and Sivle Sings Again went public. I have no idea if Sivle on the album cassette is Elvis Presley. However, my instincts together with the material presented say something afoul. Still, I would not remiss in not zeroing in on what was presented to the public in 1981. I also do not know if those presenting Sivle are involved with civil enterprises connected with Graceland Express, despite both being in Florida. From what I understand, Graceland denied any relationship with Chances, Crown, and Sivle. So the existence and the non-existence of Sivle has caused controversy and speculation in some of the fan clubs, and I suspect more information will emerge. The unsigned August 1988 letter of a numerological bent pointed out that it was numerology involved, I guess. I was truly gifted. Higher sources were at work. I should be discreet and not push the time scale. Elvis himself has forgotten certain things from his past, things that he has told no one. Things are not always as they appear. I was just an experiment with Elvis, one that he has chosen to put behind him to dismiss, and that I feel hurt and discarded. The letter ended with there is always more to things that meets the eye. So in April of 1989, while researching the Elvis files, I wrote to Future Productions to see why they had written me and whether they knew a Chances and Crown or the psychic entertainer from the Geraldo audience. Privately, I wondered if Future Productions might itself not be Chances and Crown. I suspect they might be, but I have no concrete proof as my letter came back marked address unknown. The contents of my letter made it clear that I wanted correct background information, if they had any, on Chances, Crown, Civil Nora. I also made it clear that I authenticate whatever possible via experts, preferably law enforcement experts. If Future Productions is Chances and Crown, they have once again disappeared. Apparently, these people have will travel. Any information will be welcomed. A proof that the mystery tape included in Elvis Alive has long been around can be found in an excerpt to the letter to me from Laura M. of Tickfaw, Louisiana, dated August 7th, 1987. The tape you said you received was another large area of intrigue. I have the exact tape. It was sent to me by Steve Crown and Steve Chances of Florida. I have literature they sent me also. During this time frame, we found out my mother had cancer. I asked Mr. Crown and Mr. Chances if Civil Nora, that's the name he went by, could call her. Well, he did. He called 3 times, and each time Mom was at the doctor's. He would tell my brother to tell her that a friend called. My brother swore the voice he heard was indeed Elvis Presley's. Shortly afterward, all 3 men vanished. I wrote letters to them and they were returned. The telephone number was disconnected, and I could not find a listing for them anywhere in Florida. In one of our earlier conversations, they told me they were planning on moving their Eternally Elvis headquarters because of all the people hanging around making Sivle nervous. And that's a possibility because he told Dr. Hinton he moved around all the time. When he got recognized, he ended up moving. So that's kind of evidence right there. Possibility of him being Civil Nora or even involved. It could even be Steve Crown for all we know. Because if he used Steven Silver, he could use Steve Crown. Crown, king, royalty, I get it. I'm not saying it is, but you never know. So, if Sivle is an imposter, he certainly went to a lot of trouble calling people who were sick or dying. Why? What would his purpose be? If Darlock is that man, that voice, then why was he doing so? After all, on Geraldo, he stated he had only made a tape for what he thought was a fan club. So on the surface of these murky waters, it appears that Sanchez and Crown were not connected with Elvis at all, either had bootleg tapes or tapes done by an imposter who knowingly was trying to create a hoax, the psychic entertainer included. So this is what the psychic entertainer was telling people. Except that Sivle is the name that was used by Elvis when booking studio time, according to Chet Atkins in Peter Hanning's Elvis in Private. In the Jimmy Velvet Museum in Florida, on display is Elvis's wristband engraved Sivle. On the Sivle Sings Again album, etched secretly in the black portion of the record are the words Elvis Incorporated. All right. So inside my record, and I'm going to put this up here. This is the thumbnail I made. If you look on the left-hand side of this thumbnail, you see the engraving. This is the picture in the light of the engraving on my album right here. It says Elvis Inc. engraved. Very hard to see unless it's directly in the light, but I got it in the picture. All right. It's on the edge inside the record. So why would he do that if he wasn't associated with Elvis? Which is a trademark. Elvis is a trademark of the estate of Elvis Presley. For those who have a copy of this album ordered via Chances, hold up the album to the light and you will see Elvis Inc. etched. Hard to see, but it's there. So it's just showing that to you. And I used that as my profile photo because I'm not allowed to use Jesse's due to copyright reasons. But anyway. Anyway, and in July, September of 1987, issued in the Graceland Express, the official news publication of Graceland and a division of Elvis Presley Enterprises Incorporated, on page 12 was the following ad. Civil Enterprises Incorporated. Where is it located? Florida. So in 1987, the so-called Civil Enterprises, located in Hollywood, Florida, advertised a tribute in blue as a 10-year commemoration of Elvis's death. It included the blue suede ribbon, t-shirt, poster, bumper sticker as a closeout special for $14.95, reduced from $24.95, and below is part of the earlier customer invoice of the package. So this is I don't think I have a picture of that, but I'm going to show this to you on the screen. So I'm going to reduce us down, Jim, so we can show everybody, okay? Let me reduce you down for a minute. Okay, so that's what it says, Elvis in blue, and then that's the receipt. Sorry. Bad lighting, bad picture. Sorry, guys. Maybe I can put a picture of that on the community page later. Okay. So many letters regarding Sanchez and Crown wonder if there ever was a real crown or whether crown was symbolic for king. Elvis, who also worked for Crown Electric in Memphis. Okay. So although my admiration for Elvis runs deep, I am not the best judge of his voice. Maria Columbus, the president of the Elvis Special Fan Club, has long stated publicly and via her newsletter that she is 99% certain Elvis Presley is alive, and the majority of the fans know Maria is above reproach. Maria also knows that in this chapter, I am not trying to fool anyone, but to present what a very confusing series of events, particularly in regard to the Civil Nora mystery. In September of 1981, Maria received a letter from Steve Chances bearing the Eternally Elvis letterhead. The letter was printed in Elvis Special, and it is very clear that Steve Chances was trying to get the idea across that Sivle and Elvis were one and the same. Steve writes, when I first met Sivle some 8 months ago, I was the happiest person on the face of this earth. I was prepared to fight the entire world, but his stubbornness has finally worn me down. I can appreciate that he wants a life of his own, but for the life of me, I cannot comprehend why he will not at least make one public appearance. Quite possibly he has some hidden fears, and maybe there is some legal complications if I don't know about. I do know that he hasn't told me everything. I can't say that I fault him because it was not his idea to go public in the first place. It was mine and mine alone. He is my friend, make no mistake about that. There isn't anything he wouldn't do for me, and there is nothing that I wouldn't do for him. For that, I am very grateful. He loves to lavish people with gifts, but the best gift that he could give me was the gift that has most value. That's his friendship, and I'll cherish it forever. So Chances also says that it is now time to bid adieu to Sivle as a business. And from what I gather, it was not long after that that Chances and Crown disappeared and Sivle went underground. Could it be that Steve Chances was truly somehow in contact with Elvis Presley, that something has happened or about to happen and Chances did something to betray Elvis? Did the mystery tape, Civil monologue, actually come from Ellen Foster, from whom Elvis knew, who, according to some, Elvis called after August 1977? Can we prove a connection between Steve Chances and Ellen Foster? Remember, we already know there was a connection between Miss Foster and Elvis Presley. So the Elvis Special, after printing Chance's letter, responded, we still feel that Sivle could be Elvis. Elvis picked real turkeys for friends. Could he still be doing it? We've given you every chance to follow through for Sivle and you blew it. If you can't handle the pressure now, how in the hell do you expect to handle the pressure of working for Elvis? Elvis expects perfection and you seem to fall short of it. If this is Elvis, we'll be 110% behind him. Sivle wants to continue his music for the fans, fine. Tell Sivle to contact us again and we'll take care of business. All right. So I'm going to stop right here and we'll continue this, and it's just a little bit more. mostly about Ellen Foster, and more about Civil. It's quite a large chapter, so we will continue this next week. But anyway, Jim, when I started this, I started with the videos of Civil Nora that I found online. We were
Yeah.
listening to that. You sang Steamroller Blues and How Great
You
Thou
talk,
Art.
are you talking about the video where he got his back to the camera and he's saying to old Steve?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
And
Um,
if you go back and remember that clip that I posted where he was talking about his voice changing, that's about the time he was talking about his voice got in pretty bad shape. And he didn't sound that great on there. I mean, you could tell it was him, but his voice was giving him a lot of trouble.
his talking voice was great. It was spot on. Singing voice
Yeah.
was a little off, but also he also didn't have any dubbing, and it was just him and his guitar. And he said always
Well, yeah.
downplayed, and he always downplayed his guitar playing.
I think they recorded that with one of them old timey camcorders or something. Wasn't worth a damn.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we listened to before you got on.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna start
So
over from the beginning with
that
all the greetings.
that body build he had in that video you were talking about, that's about the way he was built when I met him in 81 or 82, whenever it was. He wasn't
And look at the
left, but
glee on
he
Steve
was
Chance's face there.
yeah.
Oh, that was super. Thanks.
He was gleeful there.
You know, you're talking about oldies.
If you're putting screen, I don't even see it.
I remember the Aloha from
What?
Hawaii special. One of my very, very favorite
I
songs.
don't see the screen.
Steamroller Blues.
Hmm.
Yeah, you do that for me? For us?
Bad volume. Sorry, guys.
I'm on steamroller, baby. I'm about to roll all
They asked you if you had the flu. I
No.
said no.
steamroller, baby.
All right. I think I said hello. I'm just going down here. I'm just kind of.
I'm gonna inject your loving soul with some sweet rock and roll.
Thank you very much, Francis. You too. Happy Mother's Day. You missed last Wednesday. That's fine. It's taped, so you can watch the first part later. Yeah, okay. It is in Australia. Okay, great. Hi, Diana. Happy Mother's Day to you too. No, this is the, I guess a camcorder blacked out 1981, a Civil Nora. That's Steve Chance's right here.
Oh,
The guy
Steve.
smiling.
Oh, Steve grinning like a shit-eating dog.
Yeah. To me, it's no denying that it's Elvis to me. Even though it's so like blown up, but I think it's also the angle of the camera and the background stuff that they used in 81 to black him out made him look bigger than he actually was. But then he wore big jackets and stuff like that. So I don't know, he might have been a little heavier back then too, right? Around 1981, was he kind of heavy, Jim?
Yep. He wasn't as heavy as he was when he left, but he was still a little bit on the heavy side.
Right. That's definitely Elvis. That's what Julianne says. No impersonator. I don't think so.
Old Cuz looked like he was having a good time too.
Yeah. Francis, I agree. And I think it's just listen to the talking here.
Can I get serious for a moment?
You mean we haven't been?
No, seriously. I don't care what anybody says. I think you've got a future in this business. Can I ask you, what is your favorite song?
You just heard it, man. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got about another 125 zords to ask of you, but I know we got time is of the essence right now.
So Jim, is that his
And,
voice?
My favorite song, and I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
favorite song of a lot of
I agree. I think when he says, you know, you got it, man. He used to say man a lot. All right. I'm going to just bring this down so I can read the comments now. All right. I know his vibrato. Okay. No comments. Don't want to upset anybody. Okay. I'm late, but on here. Good evening and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You too, Rita. How are you tonight? That's our lovely Elvis. I think the laugh and just the talking in between.
Go on.
No,
Go
the
on, Carter.
sound quality of the actual singing was all way like that, but definitely sounds like Elvis to me too. Definitely sounds like Elvis.
Shut up.
The way he says "baby," that's Elvis. Exactly. I think there's some others when he says "blow your mind." Like I said, it's not as controlled as when he sang it in '73 because obviously there's no
I
mic,
like it.
no other musicians, no other practicing. It was like off the
I,
cuff.
I like it when old Steve Chance asked him to sing "How Great Thou Art." He says, Elvis says, if I sing it, you're going to have to help me.
Yeah. And he does, but you know what I did? I had the second clip, but for some reason it didn't upload on here. So maybe if I pull it up, I'll let you guys watch the other half. But then Steve Chances ends up going and saying at the end that he wanted the body to be exhumed. That's not gonna happen. Anyway, he shows his personality and sense of humor like Elvis. Yeah, and that little giggle. That giggle does it to me, does it for me all the time. You could just like imagine his like little half smile there, cricket smile, and his giggle. That record available to buy in I don't think it's on Amazon anymore. You might have to look at Discogs if you're lucky to get it, or eBay. But it's hard to get. Civil Nora equals Elvis here. Yeah, I think so.
Stop.
And Jim finally says hello here. Everyone's hoping you're feeling better.
I feel all right.
Okay. No problem. You can rewatch anytime. It'll be taped and it's on permanently. So you can see it anytime. It's not like Facebook where it expires after 90 days. That's what frustrates me about Facebook. Anyway. StreamYard keeps kicking you off. I know. And I think your phone freezes up quite often. Jim, I hope you see the doctor and take care of yourself. Yeah. I think so. I think that's where her fan club was. I don't know if she's still around or not, but I don't know. Is she still around? Do you know, Jim? Maria Columbus?
I have no clue. I have no
I
clue.
don't know. Anyone, no one to spill the beans. We've got our own secrets. That's normal. Our Elvis wants his privacy. Yes. And I think I had said in a prior video, probably the one about the movie, that he had no plans to come out because he wants to continue living as Jesse in privacy. Hi, Barbara. How are you tonight? Elvis used a lot of alias. Yes, he did. He did. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Elvis itself is a trademark name. So he really couldn't record unless he wanted to record as himself for them to re-record stuff and current, who knows, maybe he did, I don't know. But, it's a possibility. If not, he would use Orion, Civil Nora. I heard he used Steven Silver and a couple other. John Burroughs, he used that one quite often for the FBI. He moved around a lot, but he also worked for the FBI a lot. So he might have disappeared as well because he had to go back into hiding, or he was going back to Washington.
Well, he worked for him for 20 years after he took off. He got a retirement from him.
Yeah.
Wasn't the FBI, it was a drug enforcement agency, DEA.
Yeah, I know he also did, he said he worked in the intelligence for a while too, because then he got recognized and he had to, work in the offices, according to the Elvis Found Alive video, which I'm not sure if it's true or not, but,
No, you're wrong. You're full of shit. This woman said it was a pedophile.
Then that was the lie then, that part? That's fine.
No, this woman just commented and said, this came up on my feed. Elvis was a pedophile. How can any of you look beyond that? He raped 14-year-old girls. What? Choose to ignore the fact. If you don't like this video, get your ass off here. I'm family, and I'll tell you real quick. He's alive. Get your ass off here. Go look at that nasty comment.
I will when I get there. Give me a second.
You can boot anybody off here. You need to boot that woman's ass plumb off here. Banner.
Yeah, I will work on it. I'm not sure how it came about. I'm assuming it was done either in secret or he knew about it and had to be blacked out. I have no idea. I don't quite know how that video ended up. It must have been snuck behind the scenes or something. I don't know. I'll have to do it later, Jim, because I'm on YouTube to do it. Hi, Michelle. How are you tonight?
I just went on his bitch. Yeah, read the shit she said. Read that. Fuck her.
And she was on here?
Yeah.
What did she say?
All set. She's taken care of. Well, we need more mods here. Right? Well, yeah. Well, I banded her off and her comment is removed. And, I'm doing well. How are you? We know the truth about Elvis, and he was not a pedophile. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
I didn't mean to get the huffy right there, but that just pissed me off. You know me, Joy, when it comes to him.
I know. I mean, you fiercely defend him, and I believe you. All right. Well, I put a damper on everything. I'm going to go get that video I was supposed to have up here and it didn't show up. So give me a second to find it.
Somebody's home.
It was not nice to say. It was not nice to post that. And she wants to post something like that, she could post it on someone else's page that, talks about him all the time.
Yep. That's okay. When this video's over, I'm going to YouTube try to find that hipper because I got a few choices words for her ass.
Good luck. Well, you can't talk to her through here because I banned her off this page. So, all right.
No, but I know what it is.
Sing it, Steve.
I don't know the words. Da, 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 da.
You couldn't sing.
Thank you.
Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, oh my God, how great, Lord. Heaven seen my soul, my Savior, my God to thee. Oh, how great, nothing you are, oh Lord, how great thou art. Heaven seen my soul, my Savior, my God to thee. Oh, how great, Lord, how great, how great, how great, ah, ah.
Bravo!
1958 tonight. Interesting year, 1958.
I'm getting off because he's gonna ask everyone to dig up his grave and all that crap. Oh my gosh. So that was the second part of that video. For some reason I went to combine them and they didn't combine correctly, so all right, anyway. I'm sure Elvis missed performing for his fans. It just took so much out of him with his health. And he said in an Elvis tape that he missed entertaining. He could not go without entertaining. So he found ways to entertain people without coming too far out in the open. So one way was obviously through Orion, where Jimmy Ellis was the front man and he did stuff behind the scenes. He might have also toured with him, and I heard they switched the
That's like
stage
that.
a while and all
That's
that.
like that message. That's like that voice message I got from him Christmas. He was talking more about his fans than anything.
Yeah, he loved his fans.
Yeah.
His family. We love you all. We know we love all. Love Elvis, young, old, and any age, right?
Yep.
Bravo, Michelle says. Bad luck for me, born late. Elvis born early. I don't know. He's old enough to be my father. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's old enough to be he's old enough to be your grandfather.
No. Well, my father's like 79, so maybe my father. Not my grandfather, no. Elvis! Yeah, that was Elvis. Hearing lots of sirens? You are? I don't know. I'm melting, she said. Yeah. Love you, Elvis. You know, I definitely think that definitely was Elvis. No need to apologize, Jim. That was a disgusting comment. Exactly. If anyone wants to come on here and make a comment derogatory toward Elvis Presley or even Priscilla or anybody in his family, they can just get off here now and not bother. But we know that all these people here are nicely commenting are my regular fans anyway. And Elvis fans. Thank you, Joy and Jim. Always being with both of you and everyone. God bless. God bless you too, Michelle. Oh, wow. That's Elvis. Definitely to me. Elvis is so very much loved, but never forgotten. Yep. Or ruin our chats. Yeah, no. Luckily enough, I have the power to block and remove people and comments. So I just wasn't there yet. So thank you, Jim, for seeing that, but I wasn't there yet. So we are also UN fans. Yeah, Jim fans. Yeah. Well, I actually had on Real Life Encounters with Jim, it's his first live with me. We did one with his story and his father's story about meeting Elvis at a store. And this lady had put a comment saying that she dated Jim like 50 years ago. And I said, do you realize Jim is only 57?
I'm gonna say your road time.
And I'm thinking, well, maybe she meant Elvis. I was thinking that, but I didn't think so. I'm like, I don't think so. That was funny though. I was like, okay, all right. So I think we'll just finish with the rest of I Love a Rainy Night. You guys have a great night. God bless you all. And I'll see you next Saturday. And we'll finish this chapter and we'll probably do the next one. We'll start the next one because I think there's only a few pages left here. And or I could skip it and just go to the next one. We'll see. It basically covers Ellen Foster's conversation. Ellen Foster, I think that's her name. Conversation on the phone with Elvis 2 days before he passed. And I already did a short video of that. So I don't think we really need to repeat that, but I can if you want me to. We love your show telling us Elvis is alive. No problem. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to you too, Michelle. All right. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, and we love Elvis, yes. And I haven't seen an update at all from Linda in a while. I guess he's about the same, dealing with aging, but she's dealing with a lot of fibromyalgia and arthritis. So keep them in your prayers. Okay. So I'm going to finish with I Love a Rainy Night. You guys have a great night. Jim, do you want to stay on with me for a minute after this is done? Okay.
Puts a song in this heart of mine, puts a smile on me every time, 'cause I love a rainy night, and I love a rainy night.
And this is from the Civil Nora album as well, 1981. And I Love a Rainy Night was not recorded until around 1981 by Eddie Rabbitt.
Shadows wash all my cares away. Wake up to a sunny day, 'cause I love a rainy night, and I love a rainy night, and I feel all right, 'cause I love a rainy night.
Make sure you have all the comments here so they show up. All right. Okay. Goodbye. God bless.
Bye, everybody.